Hey, what's up, guys? Here on the Fire Sports Pod, where everything we got is hot. I'm your host, Zach Jackson. Here with us today is our co host, Justin, back on another episode here on the Fire Sports Pod. Here on Season 8, Episode number 9, powered by StreamYard, where StreamYard makes the dream yard go. Let's get right into it. We got a busy afternoon here, Justin. We got to go over DeAndre Ayton heading to the Lakers. How does that impact the Lakers in their championship hopes or staying alive in the West? Secondly, we're going to be going over your New York Knicks getting Mike Brown, which I think is a very good move. And then we'll be going over the Mets and Yankees struggles. Both are having ridiculous struggles. Is this going to keep happening, or are we going to have a turn of events coming soon? So let's get right into it. First up, Lakers get DeAndre Ayton. As a Lakers fan, I'm going to go out here on a limb and say we desperately needed a center. I would take any center. Um, and we got a guy who's been to the finals. Yes, he is not the most flashy dude out there. He's not the most. He doesn't have the best work ethic. But to be honest, if any two guys that can get DeAndre Ayton to where he was supposed to be, um, I would say it would be LeBron and Luca. Luca makes really everybody better. Made Derek Lively, Daniel Gafford look like all stars when he was on the team. LeBron always makes his teammates better when it comes to big men. You saw Tristan Thompson back in Cleveland. Um, just one person in particular like that. He's made multiple other players really good. So I definitely think that it's not like a bad move. I just hope that Aiton is able to contribute with giving us at least 15 to 20 a game and giving us 10 to 15 rebounds. If he can't do that, then obviously this is a flop. But for the money that we got him for, I think it was a 1 year, $8 million deal. I don't think is a bad deal for a guy like this. So to be honest, I wouldn't say that we fumbled, but I would say that we actually did really good in this sense. And you're able to keep Jackson Hayes as a backup center. So you have DeAndre Ayton as our starter, Jackson Hayes as our backup. And then we can really kind of play around with the other guys that we have beneath. Again, I don't think right now we need to get some other guys in here. Hopefully, Rob Pelinka does something. Um, a lot of speculations are on the Lakers and LeBron leaving, whatever the case is. I don't think that's going to happen. His entire family is set in Los Angeles. I think it would be pretty crazy if he does leave. But I do think he's most likely going to retire next year. Um, so I think he's got 1 year, 2 years. So I think it's this year, maybe at the end of next year. He's done. That would be pretty much it for the Kings ride. But based on for Aiton coming to the Lakers, I'd say I give it a B just to be nice. I just don't think that it's a worthy guy to be in this position. I would have liked a Miles Turner. I would have liked a Brooke Lopez, even though he's a little older. Um, yeah, I mean, there was a bunch of other guys that I would have liked in this situation, but to be honest, there's nobody really left. So Aiton was kind of just fell to our hands, and I'll take it. I mean, he's a 15-10 guy. Um, that was his stat line important. In Phoenix, he averaged 18 and 10. I mean, if he can give us between 15 and 20 and 10 to 15 rebounds a game with good efficiency and shot making ability, I mean, I'll take it. What say you, Justin?
I mean, when I think about the rebounds and things of that nature, I mean, he's always been a guy that could get you at least 10 a game, at least 10 rebounds a game, even on bad teams. But the only thing I really question is his motor, his focus, and whether he's really committed to winning because he had a great opportunity when Kevin Durant was there in Phoenix and a great opportunity in 2021 with Chris Paul when they made a finals appearance, and his lack of rim protection really hurt the Suns. And Chris Paul and him had notably had beef during the time when they were playing because it was just like Chris was like, "Come on, man! Like you gotta lock in. You gotta lock in, man. And they butted heads a lot during that time.
Hmm.
I also just I don't know, man. I just think it's weird. There was a reason why Chauncey Billups benched him so much, and there was a reason why Chauncey Billups didn't want him back, and there's a reason why he was on the buyout market. I don't. I think unlike Jordan Clarkson, where they were just trying to do right by the player and let the guy go, and let the guy go to a team he wants to go to because he did right by the team. No, I think this was just a locker room cancer, and he just didn't fit. Um, I really think his lack of rim protection is really gonna hurt the Lakers because that's what the Lakers really need. They need a rim protector. It doesn't really matter how much.
All right, guys, we lost Justin with a Wi-Fi interruption. But I mean, he's kind of saying that we kind of lost a rim protector. We don't have one. And that was kind of what the Lakers needed. But he's coming back.
Yeah, I don't know what just happened there. Like I was talking and then it just loaded and it was weird. It was weird.
You're good. Continue.
But I'm gonna just say, his motor is something that I really question. And then another thing that I question is just when he does have a bad game, is he gonna be able to really recover after that? He's one of those guys that when he has a bad game, when the sky is falling, he really, really goes in on himself, and that could lead to a stretch of bad games, a stretch of possessions where he's not playing hard. Is he gonna be able to play in a big market like LA with the scrutiny and all? Because as we both know, Lakers fans are notoriously known for crapping on players and putting players down. Look what they did to D'Lo. Look what they did to what's his name, Anthony Davis. Look at just look what they did to Kyle Kuzma. I mean, they're just notoriously known for putting down players, putting down players on their team. So is he gonna be able to live through that? And he's got LeBron on his team. It's a big market, and Luca. It's a lot, and even though I don't think they're really contenders, the national media is gonna try to push and force them to be contenders because they're the Lakers and they have LeBron and Luca. So is he gonna be able to play with every single thing that he does being scrutinized?
Mm. You make a good point, Justin. Like I said, I'm not going to harp on this any longer. But I think it was kind of just what was there. We weren't aggressive early. Um,
Wait, you said something about Miles Turner, right?
yeah,
You want to? There was no way you guys could have afforded that.
no, no,
I'm
no.
just telling you right
I
now.
wanted him. I knew
Yeah,
we couldn't afford him.
but there's you got to be realistic at who you looking at. They should have been looking at guys like Thomas Bryant, Precious Achua, um, guys you could put on vet
We
minimums.
weren't going to bring Thomas Bryant back.
I would have. He could stretch the floor and he
Oh,
could
I
do.
know you would have. I would have done the same thing, but I didn't think they were going to bring him back.
I would have. I would have offered him something. I mean, Jericho Sims was another option. You get an athletic 7 footer. That's pretty much what Derek Lively was. I'm pretty sure Luca can help him become into a great player, and he can actually hit free throws. You know, Aiden has a problem hitting free throws a little bit.
Yeah, but he can hit a 15-foot jump shot, but he can't hit a.
Yeah. But
That
I
doesn't
just
make.
think in today's climate, it's becoming more like football with the hard cap, and especially with these apron restrictions, you gotta really look for diamonds in the rough. And I was watching something about the San Antonio Spurs. I don't know what type of GMs or like talent evaluators the Lakers have, but they should be looking at European talent that they could pick up for cheap. There's got to be some European or Nigerian player out there in the middle of nowhere that's a decent center, that's a decent big that they can pick up, man. Like, yeah, I don't understand.
Mm, yeah, I mean, like I said, you do have a good point there. I just think it was kind of just what was there. We thought that this guy was the best available when it comes to scoring, um, being in the finals experience. So I don't know. Like I said, I give it a B just in fact that we got a center. We'll see what happens in the.
I'll give it a B minus.
All right, so we're right in the thick of things. So we'll see what happens with the Lakers. But it's not like ideally my best move, but To be honest, I'm just happy we got somebody. We're going to be moving on to our second segment here in the Fire Sports Pod, and that is to Justin's Knicks. They reportedly have gotten expected to hire Mike Brown, according to Shams. New York Knicks expressed to hire two-time NBA Coach of the Year winner Mike Brown as franchise next head coach. Knicks president Leon Rose underwent a thorough process since the firing of Tom Thibodeau. A month ago, the Knicks requested permission to speak with 5 NBA head coaches and were denied. Then interviewed several available coaches and went through multi-round stages with candidates. Brown is a four-time champion as a top assistant in Golden State and San Antonio under Steve Kerr and Greg Popovich, and has coached an array of superstars across 3 decades in an NBA with the Warriors, Spurs, Cleveland Cavaliers, Los Angeles Lakers, and Sacramento Kings. Brown has coached Steph Curry, Draymond, Clay, Tim Duncan, Manu Ginobili, Tony Parker, LeBron, Kobe, Pau Gasol, De'Aaron Fox, and Domantas Sabonis. Brown was the only coaching candidate to interview for the Knicks job multiple times, including holding meetings with Rose, the team's front office owner, James Dolan, on Tuesday, sources told. So, like I said, I already know this is going to be a great situation for the Knicks. Mike Brown's a hell of a coach. I think he didn't deserve to get fired from Sacramento. He had a great resume. I think they just were in a bad stretch. And they really never really recovered after Mike Brown. I mean, they looked promising a little bit in the beginning, and then after that, kind of went downhill after that. I think that he didn't deserve to get fired, but I think he now gets into a better situation with the Knicks, and I think he could take the Knicks to the next hump, which is getting to the finals, and perhaps winning it. But I just think that I think Tom Thibodeau, as you know, wasn't the best coach. Didn't trust his bench. Didn't trust certain people on the bench, even starters as well. Would plug in the 5 guys that he thinks is the best, and then just leave them in there for the entirety of the game, basically. I think Mike Brown will have a better decision making when it comes to bench time, putting different schemes out there, different superstars with each superstar, and just trying to get you guys to get past. The conference finals to get to the finals. What's your thoughts on Mike Brown potentially most likely being hired by Knicks?
Um, in
Bless.
my opinion, I mean, I like it. I like the move. I think. Can you hear me? It was like frozen for a
I can
second.
hear you still.
I'll just say I like the move. The Knicks needed a proven guy, somebody that's gonna hold the team accountable, a guy that's gonna play the bench, a guy that's gonna demand the best out of his players, a guy that, unlike Tom Thibodeau, if Josh is doing bullshit out there, he's gonna bench him and he's gonna hold the players accountable. Apparently, according to one of the ESPN analysts when I was watching SportsCenter yesterday, that's close friends with Mike Brown. He said that for the last 2 years, he's been closely watching and breaking down every team, watching their weaknesses and trying to see what he could do to really help the team and really help the team get better. And according to reports from Ian Begley, Knicks insider, apparently Mike Brown had the most in-depth presentation out of any coach that they interviewed, both
That's,
times. So
that's
that
awesome.
means he's a coach that does his due diligence, and he's a coach that's gonna work to get the job done. And with the fact that the Knicks were their main goal, I think, was to get Jason Kidd, and they couldn't. They got the best coach available, best coach they possibly could. That's all you could really ask from the team, to be honest. Like, just go out there, try to get the best available, and see what happens. Now, he's stepping into a job where, he's has championship expectations. And to be fair to Mike Brown has never had a team this talented. So when everyone says he can't do the job, I say, why can't he? Because he got more from less when he was the coach of the Kings. And Kobe Bryant, I'm not the biggest Kobe fan. I will always say that. But Kobe did say he was one of the best coaches he ever had, and he held the players accountable. He held Pau Gasol accountable. He held Kobe accountable, and he would bench you if you weren't up to his standards. And that's really what the Knicks need. They need a guy that's done. And then they just went out. They got Jordan Clarkson. They got Yabusele from the Sixers. If Tibbs was still the coach, do you think those guys even play? Especially
No.
Jordan Clarkson. Jordan Clarkson can't play defense to save his life. Tibbs would never play him. So
Yeah.
I think we'll see what will happen. Hopefully the rookies get some burn. I'm excited to see the summer league and see what the Knicks do. I'm expecting a summer league championship from the Knicks because I think their summer league roster is the best. And they picked up Dink Pate. They still have some roster spots open, and I'm excited to see what they do. I'm excited to see Mike Brown, and October can't come fast enough.
Yeah, no, definitely. I'm excited for you guys. I'm happy that you guys actually got rid of Thibodeau and got a guy that knows how to coach. Um, Moving on to our third and fourth segments, we're just going to combine both for the next like 5 to 7 minutes. Um, Yankees Mets struggles, man. I'm just going to go on a limb here and say both our teams are really sucking right now, like bad. I think the Yankees struggles have a little bit to do with multiple things. I have a list of things that I think are just not are looking well. The New York Yankees, like I said, they're currently facing struggles, particularly with their offense, their overall performance, leading to fan frustration and concerns about the team's direction. Key areas of concern include inconsistent hitting. We can't hit balls with runners in scoring position for our life, particularly from prominent players like Aaron Judge, Anthony Volpe, as well as struggles with runners in scoring position. The team's pitching has also shown inconsistency, with some starters struggling to maintain leads or pitch deep into games. Um, I'd say for me, I think Aaron Judge is playing good. I don't think he's playing great. Obviously, he had last night. He had a great night, but it still resulted in a loss. Volpe's been playing okay.
He's
Uh,
been bad. He's been bad, man.
I
Just be
say
honest.
okay
He's
because
been bad, especially those two passes that he had in the last game. Not passes, but it was just
yeah,
horrible.
I see what you're saying, but I say he's playing okay based on the fact that I think that he can get out of it. The other guys that are struggling for me are just I don't know. I don't even have an answer. I just think that the Yankees and the Mets have very similar problems. I know that the Mets are having problems with runners in scoring position. They can't hit the damn ball when people are in runners in scoring position, and they've lost to some big time losers in the game. In the MLB when it comes to record wise, I mean the Pirates are terrible. And I believe not. Don't quote me on this, but did they sweep you guys or no?
They swept
They swept. I think two series before that, they somebody swept you guys again.
the Rays.
The Rays, yeah. So it is just not looking good for both of the top teams in New York, which is the Mets and the Yankees. I think both are just um
I still think the Mets are in a better spot than the
just like
Yankees are.
appreciate the follow.
I
Yeah,
think that the Mets right now are in a better spot. Yeah, they are. Right now, they got the better record, and they're only 2 games out of being number one in the NL East. So,
well the Yankees are now second in
yeah,
the
they're second, but it's tied. But
yeah.
I
So
don't believe in the Blue Jays, man. They play in a weak conference, and the Yankees always have bad Junes.
yeah, I mean, like I said, I can't really argue with what you're saying. The Yankee struggles are just big. The Mets struggles, I think, are big as well. But this is what happens for us in like the June, July time. Like almost every season, we start playing bad, and then once August hits or late July, we start consistently playing good again. So I guess it's just the way we play. I guess it's just that we just can't consistently play well in the months of June and July. And once August hits or end of July towards August, we start playing well, understanding that we need to get our head out of our ass and start actually playing. I think Judge is having an unbelievable season yet again. He's got over 30 home runs before the All Star break. So is Shohei Ohtani. But to be honest, I don't really care about that. I care about you showing up in the playoffs. I care about us winning games, not you trying to chase the record of home runs and beat your record. I don't really care about that. I need you to show up in the playoffs and not be literally non-existent. For the Mets, I think it's more of just. I think Juan Soto is not doing as well as he was with the Yankees because he.
Before you even get into that,
Uh,
he just won the NL Player of the Month, and he's having the second best month in his career. I don't
thank,
really think it's Juan Soto right now.
yeah,
And to also pivot off what you talking about the
but
Yankees,
he's not as
I
good as
think
he was with the Yankees. I could tell you that.
his best I think his best year of his career hitting wise wasn't with the Yankees. I think it was with the Nationals or something. At least
No, it
that's what I
was,
saw.
but I think yes, last year it was just more the consistency of hitting, getting on base, and also hitting home runs was really well. For me, I did just because
I
you
think you're just a little biased because you're a Yankee fan. But I
no,
will say this.
you had to pitch to him. That's the problem. That's why, like, yeah, I could tell you 100%. I'm not really being biased. I've seen what Juan Soto's done with the Mets. He's not doing terrible, but he's not doing as good as he was with the Yankees. Based on the fact that you had Aaron Judge and Giancarlo Stanton, in between, and you had to pitch to him because if not, then you're giving up runners in scoring position for Stanton and Judge. So you had to pitch to Soto, and that's why he was able to get all the home runs he had last year. The consistency of being on base all the time. Because last year when I was watching the Yankee game, it looked like Juan Soto was on base every fucking time because they had to pitch to him. With the Mets, they kind of can pitch around him.
I
I'm
feel
not.
like we have a lot of good hitters too. Like Nemo's been playing out of his mind. Alonso, Lindor can hit, but Lindor always starts the year off pretty much like the first half of the year pretty bad, and then
Well,
he
he had a
picks it up,
sickness, though, right?
like close to All Star break or post All Star break. But
But he had a sickness though, so I could give him a break. Right? Lindor had a sickness in the beginning of the season.
yeah, and then they haven't had Vientos. Vientos been hurt, and that's a huge blow. That's another hitter for them.
Yeah, I mean, for the Yankees pitching wise, we had a couple guys be hurt. Our closer.
I agree with that. I
I
agree
think
with
it's
that.
totally inconsistent. I'm not even putting as injuries as an excuse. I think it's just you're just inconsistent.
I
And
agree too. Like I like Rodon
yeah.
and I like Freed, but I feel like Stroman and what's the other pitcher? I forget. It starts with a C.
No, it's Clark Schmidt.
Yeah, he got to be. They got to be better.
I completely agree.
They ought to be better. And I think that the Yankees depend too much on Aaron Judge. Volpe got to step up. I'm about to look up his. I think I just looked it up. Volpe's batting 224 right now. That's bad for someone who's supposed to be next up for the Yankees, and everyone's telling me, "Oh, he's like that. He's better than Lindor. Yeah, the shortstop ditch."
I don't think he's
He,
better than Lindor.
I was told by Yankees fans that he's better.
Yeah,
I said I didn't agree, but they said I was a biased Mets fan.
I'm
You
not
know,
a
a lot of time the Yankees fans don't know anything about baseball. They
I'm
just
a
be
true
saying stuff.
Yankees fan, and I can tell you Volpe is not better than Lindor.
Like I don't
Maybe,
know, Volpe's
maybe,
too
maybe,
inconsistent.
maybe,
He's good defensively though.
maybe later on in his career he could be better than Lindor, but right now, no. Sorry, that's to me that's not even a debate. I don't know why people would debate that. When he's playing well, he's one of the best shortstops in the game. But the problem is that he's inconsistent, and we have to stay consistent. I think that's the name of the game for the Yankees. Very inconsistent, too dependent on Aaron Judge and our two pitchers. We just got to be better overall. I think that's the biggest thing for the Yankees and for the Mets. For me, I think the Mets are just on a streak of just losing. I don't think they're a bad team. I just think that they're just playing not their best baseball of late. But they'll ramp it up for your sake, hopefully in a timely manner because you don't want to keep losing games. You want to stay at least 10
I
games
don't
over
think they're
500.
bad either. And with the Yankees, I just feel like other than like Chisholm and Bellinger and Judge, who else can really hit on that team? Like I'm trying to think, and
Goldsmith, I like
Goldsmith, yeah, but he's
I like
inconsistent.
Goldsmith.
He's inconsistent. So it's just like who can I really bet on that's gonna go out there that I know pitchers are gonna fear other than Judge?
You got a solid point, Justin. I just think that it's more of the fact that we are very inconsistent, like I keep saying, and that we are reliant too much on the home run ball, and we just don't get, and we don't have again. That's been our problem since last year. Wasn't actually, yeah, last year was in the World Series. We can't hit runners in scoring position for some odd reason. Last night was great. We came back from down 8-0. We tied it up 9-9, and then we lost 11-9 because Devin Williams screwed it up again. Like I just don't understand.
I think it's the Yankee curse because he was so nice in Milwaukee. You
No,
know
I
what,
think
too? That I think Pete
no.
Alonso took the
That's what I was
shower.
about to say. That was freaking Pete Alonso. He just said, yeah, he just took that guy's confidence and threw it down the drain because that guy has not been the same since that Pete Alonso home run. Um, but other than that, I think that's pretty much it here. Unless you got anything else to say, Justin.
I mean, I just say, just piggybacking off what you said, I don't think it's I think the Yankees will find themselves. It's just June. It's kind of like that rut of the season. I say the same thing with the NBA season. It gets to a point like mid-season where you're kind of like dragging your feet. You're like,
Yeah.
uh. And then once it's really time to lock in towards like that post, I think post All-Star break, both these teams are really gonna lock in. Same with the Dodgers. The Dodgers are winning, but I really don't think that they're really locked in right now.
I agree. I agree. But other than that, guys, that's pretty much it for the show here in the Forest Sports Pod, where everything we got is hot. I'll catch you guys on Recap Monday, for season 8, episode number 10. This is your host Zach Jackson and our co-host Justin. We out. Have a great 4th of July. We'll be posting this. This will be posted for tomorrow. So I'll see you guys on Monday. Have a great rest of your night. Bye.